I am going to go through 5 books that have been sitting on my TBR list for a very long time. One of them has been sitting on my TBR list for the past like 5 years. I bought a copy of it a long time ago, and I start it and I get past the first 100 pages and I stop reading it. And I've read the first 100 pages of this book maybe like 4 or 5 times now. And I just cannot get past it because it is such an intimidating book, which I will get to. And then when I tell you about it, you're going to be like, oh, okay, well, that's why. But yeah, I plan on reading that soon. Right now I'm reading The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker, and it is brilliant so far. His dissection of Freud in the 4 stages is brilliant. I haven't read a book that has been this impactful in my life in a very long time. It is completely changing the way I think about almost everything. It's changing the way I think about myself and my own behavior, which is not what I was expecting when I read this book. I was just thinking, oh, I'm just going to read like a philosophy psychology book and that'll be the end of it. And it's really changing me as a person, and it's really changing the way that I view life in general, which again, was not expecting, but I think it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. But I'm going to get into the 5 books that I want to read but have not read, that have been sitting on my shelf for a while. So I'm going to disappear off camera while I grab these books. And the first book is Evicted by Matthew Desmond, Poverty and Profit in the American City. I wanted to read this because it is relevant to my field of study, which is social work adjacent. So, people with substance abuse disorders get evicted from houses all the time, and because they can't pay rent. And so this is something that I picked up with the intention of reading. I bought it back in December. I got everybody for Christmas gave me thrift books gift cards. So I just had $200 of thrift book gift cards, and I still have it on my account. I have $50 left of it. Which, if you haven't used thrift books, use thrift books. It's awesome. Out of the $150 that I spent, I probably got around 20 books, because you can get books for $5 on there. But yeah, so Evicted, it's adjacent to what I'm doing. And when I finish up my current degree, I'm going to go back to school and get my MSW, which is a master's in social work. So I'm going to do that. And so it is my responsibility to keep learning. And part of learning is reading. And so I read a lot of social sciences books because they are relevant to my field of study. So that's why I picked up Evicted, Poverty and Profit in the American City. That is why I picked this up. Okay, so the rest are fiction books. I need to read more fiction because I am reading a lot of social sciences books and psychology books and philosophy books, and I haven't read a fiction book in a year. So my goal is to read more fiction, because fiction has its place too. So next, Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurray, which I feel like this needs no introduction. It's about 2 cowboys on their last ride, and it's been recommended to me a million times, and I see it all over Reddit and other forums. People really fucking love this book. It's considered one of the great American classics. So I picked this up for it says $2.50. I picked this up for $2.50 at a bookstore that was closing in my area, and I saw it and I grabbed it, and I was I don't know when I'm gonna get around to it, but I will eventually. So I'm in no rush to get to this one though. I don't know, Westerns aren't really my thing, but I guess this isn't really a Western. It's more of an exploration of the friendship of 2 people than it is about cowboys and Indians and shit like that. So I'm gonna check this one out. Should be pretty good. So the next book I got is Butter. I saw this at Barnes & Noble and it immediately caught my eye. I don't know why it caught my eye, but it did. and read the back of it, loved the description, loved what it was about, and my girlfriend actually bought it, and she just never read it. Like, she bought it over a year ago now, I think. Celestia's been sitting on my shelf for about a year, and I keep asking her, I'm like, do you want the book back? She's like, no, you can read it first. And I tell her, I'm like, hey, I'm probably not going to get around to it for a while. And she's just like, oh, just hold on to it. It's fine. So this has been sitting on my shelf. It's not even my fucking book, but I have it, and I want to read it. I want to read more Japanese literature. The only things I've really read is Mishima and Murakami. South of the Border, West of the Sun is one of my all-time favorite books, by the way. If you just look up quotes from that book, it's just a very good book about the exploration of love and like what happens when you fall in love with somebody. Do you ever fall out of love with that person? It's a very good exploration of those topics. That's not what this is about. It's about butter. It's about a woman who is a journalist, and she gets in contact with this woman who is a murderer, and they exchange recipes or something like that. I don't fucking know. I'm just interested in reading it because it sounds really good from the description on the back of the book. I don't know the Goodreads score for this. I don't really, but I have a Goodreads account, and like, if you guys are interested, I can post my Goodreads account and stuff like that if you guys want to follow me. But I typically don't follow Goodreads stuff like that because I like to form my own opinion. And if I I'm glad my mom died is sitting at like a 4.5 on Goodreads. I give it a 3. You know, like, I don't know, Goodreads stuff, like, when I see that something has a good Goodreads score, I'm not like, oh, I gotta fucking read that. You know, that's not what it is for me. I didn't even read reviews on there. I strictly use Goodreads specifically for keeping track of books that I've read. So, and I haven't had it for very long. I've only logged like 30 books on it. I probably read like 20 books a year, maybe. A lot less because now I'm in school, and school takes priority. So I'd rather focus on my schoolwork and stuff like that than read a book. So yeah, Butter by Asako Yuzuki. I'm gonna get around to reading that. Next is a classic, East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I've never read any Steinbeck before. So I think I read Of Mice and Men when I was in high school, like my freshman year of high school or something like that. And yeah, it just, I don't remember reading it. I remember one part of it, and that's it, which is like the ending. That's all I remember from that book. It didn't like, Of Mice and Men did not stick with me the way it stuck with other people. But also, like, I read my own books, and like, I realized that a lot of high school students don't do that. So the books I was reading were much more impactful than reading a book in class. So East of Eden is considered, I'm pretty sure this is considered Steinbeck's best book, I think. I don't know. I'm excited to read it. I heard it's very biblical. I don't know anything about it. This hasn't been spoiled for me. No one's told me about anything that happens in this book. So I'm going in completely fresh. I have no clue about what to expect. The only thing I know is that it takes a lot from the Bible, which interests me because I'm not a religious person, but I am fascinated by religious stuff. My girlfriend said that when she did read, like, my girlfriend reads a bunch of slop. Like, she reads, like, fucking Frida McFadden and Colleen Hoover and stuff like that. She just reads a lot of slop. Why does she do that? I don't know. She just does. She reads a lot of shit like that. But she said when she did read, like, actual literature, she said this book was her favorite book. So I'm excited to read this and discuss this with her, and maybe even make a video for online to talk about it. So who knows? Maybe keep an eye out for that. And lastly, this is the book that has been sitting on my shelf for 4 or 5 years. I read the first 100 pages of it, and then I stop reading because I get intimidated, and I have been stuck in that cycle. I try like once a year. So I've read the first 100 pages of this book 4 or 5 times, and each time I get too nervous. Like, this book is a lot to tackle. It is Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. You guys knew it was coming as soon as I said that this book is intimidating. People love this fucking book. Like, this book is like, people absolutely love it. It's got a huge fan base. And I've seen people online saying that it's life-changing. Like, I've seen people saying that Infinite Jest is a life-changing book. I've heard that when you do read it, you're supposed to have 3 bookmarks. One for the year that you're on, one for the page that you're on, and one for the footnotes. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much to say about this book, even though I haven't read it. It's very intimidating. It's over 1,000 pages long. There are 500 pages of footnotes that go into the book. So while you're reading, you're supposed to stop, go back to the footnotes, read the footnotes, and then some of the footnotes have footnotes of their own. So it's a very intimidating book. It's a lot to take in. I have a feeling that I'm not going to get around to this until after I finish school. And the reason being is because I don't want any distractions while I'm reading this. When I read this, I want to strictly focus on this specific book. That's all I want to focus on is this. And so I don't want any distractions. I don't want to have to take like a 3-day break from reading to finish schoolwork. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to sit down and read the book for what it is. So I'm going to read this possibly after school. I don't know. But I'm really excited to read this, and I'm really excited to get past the first 100 pages. It's just, yeah, I don't know. So if you've read any of these books, please let me know what you think of them. I'm especially interested in hearing people's thoughts on Infinite Jest. I think that Infinite Jest is, I feel like I'm going to read it. I'm going to love it. Like, reading the first 100 pages definitely seemed up my alley. David Foster Wallace is a very intimidating author. You have these fucking paragraphs. It's just a single paragraph. And that paragraph goes on for like 4 or 5 pages long, just of a single paragraph. And it's very much kind of like, oh, like I can't breathe because like all this stuff is coming at me all at the same exact time. And, but again, I've heard Infinite Jest is life-changing. That's what I've heard. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my to-be-read list. Yeah, that's all I got for you.